And when we get to there, the floor will be yours, and then I can talk shit finally. Yeah, boy. I've been holding this shit in. I'll be like, you about to slip up and say something. You're like, fuck. You like,
Chill on
yeah,
me, man.
yeah, finna get it in on you.
Giuseppe. Went from the hoop to the Chevy. Went from the Chevy to Lamb. Now these hoes call me the man. Went from no hope to broke joke to $1 million man. Now these hoes call me the man. Now these hoes call me the man.
Yes, hello. How you doing? Test, 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 test. We back at it again, and you know what I'm about to say. Fuck it, let's do this shit.
Let's do it.
Ah, no disrespect to the politically correct, but we need that extra seasoning. If it's worth doing, you know it's worth overdoing, baby.
As always, let's sprinkle it. Let's sprinkle some of this extra seasoning today.
Indeed. But happy Resurrection Week to all my church folk. Happy Easter to everybody else. Uh, may the money filled eggs and the Easter speeches find you well.
Oh
Hopefully,
man. Oh
yeah.
man.
You know what it is.
Oh,
Lee
I
is
ain't.
going to do some of that this week, or weekend, whatever. So
Yeah.
shout out to little man. Hope he's finding some money. He ain't getting nothing from me, but listen, man, we spend enough on dude. We spend enough on dude. I'm sorry.
I ain't coming here to stay. I just came to say Happy Easter Day.
I'm trying to tell you, but we can start giving out some flowers as we usually do. Once again, if you don't like it, you can fast forward.
I'm saving
Um,
mine to the end, bro.
Indeed. All right. Some of my flowers I got today. The man, the myth, the legend, Deion Sanders,
Prime time.
prime time. Head coach at Jackson State football team. Um, Atlanta legend, Dallas legend, San Francisco legend. All of that.
Florida State legend.
Right. Uh, played in both. Well, I won't say both, but played in two major sports at the same time: the NFL and the MLB.
Braves legend. I forgot too.
Right. That was actually one of the greatest 30 for 30s I've seen in a long time too.
Yeah.
Like that Dion story is crazy.
Yeah.
But man's redefined what swag was, bruh. Like from draft night to today. Seriously. Confidence like none other, to be honest with you. I mean, if I can get to that point in my older age, 'cause I mean, they say once you hit 30, you know what I'm saying, your shit turn up. So I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
You'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But I could appreciate that he's getting the ball rolling, redistributing the wealth in HBCU sports, just sports in
Yes.
general, but especially with HBCUs. I mean, like the team that they put together um, out of Mississippi is crazy. Now they just
Right.
got knocked off by Alabama State, but if you watch the game, I don't know if anybody been watching on ESPNU, but if you been watching the game was pretty good. I
Hmm.
think they got picked off. They were going down the score to try to win the game. They got picked off in the red zone, I think,
Yeah.
with like 5 seconds left. So it was a good game.
I
Um,
wanna. I wanna piggyback on
mhm,
you saying what you were bringing spotlight to the HBCUs. I
right.
don't think it'll just bring athletic spotlight. I think it'll
Well, of
also bring
course,
scholarship too, because you know the more that is nationally recognized on TV now, because it used to be HBCUs got one Saturday a season and that
sad.
was it, unless it was on BET.
And that was the
But
Celebration Bowl.
and then like kids is too young to remember HBCU games being on BET. But
Right.
shout out to BET for keeping it real back then. But it would bring more than just the athletes, because again, once that national recognition gets to rolling, on a more consistent basis, then that can definitely open the door for more funding for these scholars and stuff. So big shout out to Deion Sanders and everybody else pushing to shine light.
Nah, that's facts. Because um, Mikey Williams,
Yeah,
he,
Mikey.
I really hope. I mean, again, I always talk junk about the HBCU elites and whatever else, but I mean,
Hmm.
if Brug go to Howard or Hampton or whatever else, I'm fine with it.
Right.
because coming from that side of the world, like he's on the West Coast, he's a Southern California kid,
Hmm.
and I mean he played AAU out in Atlanta and stuff like that. But he's from a whole nother side of the country. If he was to bring that kind of a base from that side of the country to understand more about these HBCUs, I'm fine.
Right.
Like that, fine by me.
Because I mean, somebody's got to open the door, and once the door is open, you can kick it down.
Right.
So
So again, trickle down economics is a trash concept in the grand scheme, but I think it works. Right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Let's see. What else did I have? My active duty military and my vets. Try to throw a little shine y'all way because I got shit talked to me this weekend by my brother Leighton. Uh, but Leighton Sanchez, Trey, my boy Trey just went to
Facts.
Kuwait. He just went to Kuwait, so we missing him. But if he can listen, my boy, try to get on Anchor or whatever you got to do. Apple Podcasts, we
Yeah, yeah.
shouting you out. I know I talk a lot of this and that about the military, but I don't envy that job. So by all means, we appreciate you protecting our freedoms,
Most definitely.
and I know y'all sacrificing a lot, man. So again, I appreciate y'all.
Most definitely. Big ups to you, big bro.
Indeed. All right, let's get to that real shit. The time change has happened.
Yeah,
First quarter of the year is over with.
yeah.
It's time for us to step back a little bit. Let's recalibrate. Just it's pretty important. We mentioned recalibrating. Stepping back, seeing what you're doing. Let's try to do that. What have I guess I'll pose a question to you. What
Hmm.
have you accomplished so far in the first 3 months, or is it something that you started, or how? Or just even if you just feel like you improved yourself in some type of way, what has that been?
First and foremost, this platform,
Right.
I'm bigging us up right now because we've been, you know, consistent enough.
Right.
We took a week off and then, a few days here and there, but we've been consistent enough to say that, we got a pretty good going. So big ups to us. But I guess just like celebrating, just life in general, man. Because there's a lot of things that have happened so far in 2021 um, that can kind of drag you down. But when you step back and you know think about January 1st all the way up to today is March 31st,
Right.
it ain't been that bad. It ain't been
Not,
that bad,
not compared to 2020, man.
right? I didn't.
I
It's everybody's taking the L this year, but I mean, I think my wins have outweighed my losses. So definitely got the podcast popping. Um, I'm being more active at work.
mm,
So I told myself that I was going to try this year to be better at my job, and start participating in these, online programs and mentorships and everything. I went and got a little league baseball team.
whew.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Bad News Bears.
yeah. You're killing me, Smalls. Come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like other than that, like I said last week, life is good.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Uh, as far as for me, obviously the podcast, but I feel like um, I've been trying to be more attentive at home.
Hmm.
For one,
Hmm.
just I guess I could say um, trying to realize the impact that my words have. For one,
Hmm.
like I can be cut and dry for the most part, but I think it's important to if you feel a way, then you need to say that first off, because that makes you a little more, I guess, soft around the edges. I don't know. It's kind of like it's easier to, so you don't feel like you handling people. I try not to
Right,
talk at people so much, especially with Lee.
right,
Um, but again, with the podcast, I feel like this is pretty good because it's giving me a lot more confidence just in my everyday conversation. Like I feel like I articulate my points a whole lot, better when I talk to people. Like if I'm trying to, get my point across, I can definitely do that way better than I did before instead of just okay, and then this, and then this, and then I get a thought later on. I want to go back and try to be like, nah.
Yeah,
It helped a lot with that.
yeah, I dig that. But I mean, I guess in like Liam's situation, you might have to, talk at him a little bit because
Sometimes,
he he's at that molding stage right now. So I mean, you're gonna
right.
have to, mold that head, mold that mind. So a little bit of rearing ain't bad.
Oh, of course not. I try not. I try not to. I try not to overdo it. I
Yeah,
say if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. But when it
right,
comes to the child care, I try to just a little bit. I could be better. It is what it
yeah,
is, though. It's a work in progress.
right, right. Yeah. So I mean, can nobody tell you you being a bad dad?
Right. Active is active is what I'm going with. That's as long as I'm here and trying to get better. I think that's the best thing you can do.
And I'm here for it.
But stimulus has finally come for some of us. Listen, I'm always the front of the line. I don't know why, but I don't give a shit. Like I'm always at the front of the line. So I won't even say at the front of the line because I know some people got their shit like the second day. But I'm always at the front of the bus. I say that much. It come for some of us.
And it don't
Sorry,
for and it don't for others
I'm
because I ain't
sorry.
get the second one either.
I'm sorry. Big homie DJ ain't got his yet. We still waiting, but it is what it is. Help is on the way. Joe said so. He gonna do something for y'all.
I'm filing them taxes next week, so that's six. I'm getting the 600 at least. I'm getting the 600 at least
I mean, if
because
you write it in, you should get it all.
well, I mean, yeah, true that. So
Whatever you missing, they should send it off.
I hope so because I mean they probably gonna hit me with that. Well, enough time ain't passed for the 1400 to to where we can be like we can disperse this to you. But I'm definitely gonna be like I ain't get either one of them. I got the first one. That was it.
Well, I mean, you'll be straight, man. They gonna get you right. They gonna get you right.
Break me off a piece.
Lord, but nah. Oh, so about the stimulus and stuff, man. It's always that cheap talk. It's low hanging fruit to me. It's easy.
Mm,
Um, and people criticize people about like where they spend their money and if you get that stimulus, you need to be doing this. I mean, these are taxpayer dollars, man. You pay for this. It's not like they giving
right,
you anything, right? It's just money that I paid into just
right.
for rainy days like this pandemic. So you see it a lot criticizing. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do that. You should be doing this. Invest in this. Do whatever. I'm like, bro. Half the time you got to look at it. This money has been coming to you for so long. It take you so long to get it. I ain't got time to invest in shit. Like, just being honest. I'm trying to catch up.
Come
But
on now.
but like, what would be your ideal business situation or because I mean, people say invest, but business situation or just your ideal way to spend your money whenever you do get it? Because I know you're still waiting.
I mean, I guess for me, the best way for me to spend mine is to get caught up on bills and start paying stuff off because I'm a um I'm gonna have a bill here. I'm gonna have a pretty expensive bill here. Have a pretty expensive bill here for a while coming
Right,
up. So I I just want to make sure that I'm able to provide for that expensive ass bill. So
right. Well, that's a bet. Listen. Trust me, I know where you're coming from.
yeah.
I know where you're coming from. But I mean, I guess it's kind of like make your money, work for you or whatever else. I get that, and it's like I want to try to do that at some point. I want to, I guess, try to like do the whole LLC thing and started with the vending thing. I've been seeing like different spots I can like kind of break
Hmm.
into that. But I mean, honestly, if there's not money that you about to miss, that will be fine. Like you can get you a good machine for like 800
Hmm.
used, and we got Sam's Club because I'm old as shit anyway. I got Sam's Club membership and whatever. I can fill this shit up pretty easy, probably with maybe $120. And I mean, over refilling that shit maybe 3 times, you probably get your money back in maybe 3 months. And
Yeah.
and that's just making back what you put in.
Your
And
initial
then,
investment.
right, and you take that, you can go get you another one. I'm like, shit, if you can get you 3 or 4 machines by the end of the year, you could probably be pulling in like $2,000 a month just off the machines.
And that's pocket. That's not what you taking out of the machines to put back in there.
Right. And I'm like, dude, you got people like I know at one point in life I was hoping to get that kind of money. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like $2,000 a month. You're like, shit, that's Like, bro, when you just sitting around interning and do whatever else, you be like, after taxes, I wish I could make that in a month. You be like, all right, cool. If I can do that from vending machines, I'm with it.
That is the definition of passive income.
And I mean, I feel like it's becoming a big thing, and it's always something I thought about, but I got lazy about it. So by summer, I want to get that shit rolling. To be
Yeah,
honest with you,
ain't gonna let you sleep on it, man.
I hope not. I hope not.
Ain't gonna
So
let you sleep.
sticking to that, what is because like you got Instagram pages like Earn Your Leisure. I don't think anything bad of them. I just don't like the way that the algorithm works with Instagram. So they, if you like one of their posts or some type of money type page or whatever else, that shit gets pushed to you every time, and then it's like, okay, now it may be Earn Your Leisure, but now all these like shitty pages are getting pushed to you too. So it's like, oh, fuck that Popeyes chicken sandwich. You need to be buying a vending machine, and your stimulus coming. Your baby kid, you just wear socks this week. Let's go and get, let's go ahead and
Yeah,
spend that
yeah,
money where you need to spend it. Like that shit is trash. But
yeah.
I feel like it's a line between encouragement and shaming when it comes to this shit. Like, what do you think the line is drawn for encouragement and shaming?
Um, I mean, once you become like super aggressive with somebody else's money, at that point you're shaming them. Like it's one thing to give advice, like okay, yeah, this is a smart thing to do with that $1,400 stimulus check you just got. But
Right.
once you start saying, you waking up in the morning, you going to work for this man when you just got $1,400 and you could have went ahead and invested in yourself and been and bought that man, like
Yeah.
nah, uh, calm down.
And it's
Everybody ain't got
usually
that kind of mindset.
it's usually the niggas that's selling courses too, though.
Yeah, yeah,
I see that a lot. Like
yeah.
right now, if you join my team, you know what I'm saying, we get you in on all the trading signals, and uh, I don't want to scapegoat forex,
I
but I'm
got
sorry.
this. I got this $40 book for you.
It's funny though. When this pandemic started, that forex shit kind of just nosedive.
Yeah,
That shit was a scam then,
yeah,
because now niggas ain't got that extra income to be doing all this trading. If you can make money, what they was telling you, it don't matter. You can start with a little. It's $5. You get okay.
right,
Let me see it happen. Then
right,
that was a pyramid scheme.
right. And
But
now the people still doing forex are like the people who actually watch the pips, the people
right,
who actually watch the market, and they weren't just one of the ones jumping in on the team. They were like actually on YouTube watching videos on how to watch where $1 goes to three in Japan, and you got to go ahead on and sell at that point. So
I mean, it's that's all well and good, but any time that you have to uh, pay money to to be a part of some shit like that, that's probably a scam, bro.
yeah, they got
Like
you, player.
they, but again, stimulus, whatever. These all cool terms. It's actually economic impact payment. So just so y'all know real terms, we try to give y'all a little bit of knowledge. I'm not saying that people don't know, but these are terms that you should know.
Right,
Like if you took basic econ, you probably do know that. But
right.
anyway, speaking of impact, the Derek Chauvin trial is on right now. These initial statements and whatever else we've been going through. We had the store clerk today. I think we had the firefighter yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. This was Tuesday.
We had
Yesterday,
the
speaking of,
dispatch yesterday, also, right?
I
The
I believe so, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. I think I didn't want to sit and watch all of it because why? Um,
yeah.
that's just depressing myself for no reason. Um, but just listening to some of the stuff that was going on, it's like I know that it has to happen, I guess, but it's just like the whole black trauma thing is wheels turning again. Like it's shit's coming back around. Like, and I mean, you look at it, and be like, this is like year to date from the time it happened, damn near.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just I was just sitting down, just thinking about like, you tell yourself initially when it happened, you knew, what the story was, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna watch this, and
Hmm.
you say that kind of shit, but then you get curious. And then you see stuff, and it's like, all right, I'm about to watch this heartbreaking ass video, and you think it's just the normal dude get killed by the police, whatever else, and you sit there and you like, okay, I just watched this shit for 9 minutes, and dude got a knee on his neck, dude's resting. I'm like, I just put myself through that all over again, and
Yeah.
I was pretty depressed last year anyway at that time, so that shit probably contributed to my breaking point.
Yeah.
Just thinking about like different stuff, and I mean, you see it all the time. Um, but I mean, it's hard to normal and hard not to normalize that kind of shit. You get numb to it.
You definitely do get numb to that because when you do see stuff like that on the internet, and it's crazy because stuff like that is on the internet to
Right.
where all it has is a sensitive image mark on it, and kids can easily go ahead on and click past that and see Derek Chauvin with his knee on George Floyd's neck
Right.
for 9 minutes. Like that's why I guess like everything is becoming desensitized these days because it's a shock value, and then once that initial shock is over, it's like, all right, I've seen this before. This don't really like hit as hard.
And it's crazy because so drawing a comparison when the insurrection happened on January 5th,
Yeah.
uh I forgot the lady name, but she, you know what I'm saying, she had that fuck around and find out moment, got shot by a damn Secret Service member. We saw that shit 2 times maybe,
Yeah.
and then
It was white
that
from the
was it.
internet.
We not gonna show the white lady getting shot in her fucking teeth.
Yeah.
But May 25th, over and over and
Yeah.
fucking over. I had to whether I wanted to even, I couldn't even watch the news because you don't know at what point they're gonna show this shit. And so when you do watch the news, they showing this shit on local news and it's on the internet, it's on CNN, and it's like, okay, first off, you stoking all this bullshit because you can tell me what you want about people tearing shit down and burning up their fucking neighborhoods. You putting this shit out there into the world because honestly, we didn't know nothing about Chad Wheeler or none of this other shit. You don't give people, when it come to other situations, you don't give people a chance to build anger on shit.
Hmm.
Like that's the problem. When it comes to black people, it's like we're gonna make this shit normal. We know this shit gonna get some clicks. You wouldn't show a white woman getting shot in the mouth. You ain't gonna show a dead soldier, but you don't have no problem showing people that we bombing on TV. None of that
Yeah.
shit. If
Yeah.
it's people that we bombed or somebody that's black, we show that shit like it's just
Yeah.
casual theater. And
They're still
again,
showing Eric Garner videos.
right. I'm like, dude, I don't know when that shit's gonna stop. Man, it's like I don't, as far as CNN, it's like, okay, I can't watch Fox News too long because I get pissed off at that.
Hmm.
I can't watch CNN too long because I get pissed off at that.
Hmm.
You don't have too much access to a black news network. The most black news you might get is Roland Martin. And that shit is like on Facebook. I don't use
Right.
Facebook like that. MSNBC is, yeah, I don't know. And it's like, when do you get a black news outlet that works for you? You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know where that's gonna come in.
Yeah. I
That's what I'm
am.
hoping for.
Yeah, and then that was one of the things that BET did, and I keep talking about BET, but BET made sure they kept the culture alive. Like '90s and early 2000s, BET was on top of black culture, and that's when, of course, it was black owned then. But I mean, if we can figure out a way to introduce something else similar to, and I know everything is digital now, everything is social media, and I think the closest thing we got to that is like the shade room.
Yeah, okay.
Right, like the closest thing we got to it is like the shade room, or you know baller alert, and it's not really like pushing
And then
anything, not really pushing any like positivity. And
and
every now and then you get a little piece of positivity out of the shade
right.
room, but
The and the problem, I guess the main problem I got with, and again, these are just my thoughts, like what did the trial so far bring out? And this is what it's bringing out. It's kind of like, I guess the only problem I got mainly with outlets like Shade Room is you could promote all the positivity that you claim to, promote, but it's like you know what they doing with some of this
yeah,
shit too. Like even in being positive, you posting a bad picture of her fucking wig, whoever she may be. It's like the nigga's pants is too small, so you know he about to get roasted for this. His
Yeah,
shoes, you can tell his shoes are old or something like that.
yeah.
It like it's just difficult, man. Like
But that's
I
also
don't know.
social media these days.
It is
Niggas
social media.
niggas don't take shit serious no more.
Nah, niggas don't take shit serious. I just think it's it's again low hanging fruit, man. You don't have that don't have to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe those certain posts don't get the kind of traction that your normal post would get. But if it's supposed to be a positive moment, let's just let it be that.
Right.
I think like you gotta. There's no reason you can't be intentional in some of the stuff that you do. Like if you're supposed to be positive, just let it be a positive moment. Because you know for a fact you've seen that you get on there and somebody hugging their child and then her shit is pushed back here. Like we know her weed bad, we know that, but you could have chopped her shit right here at the hairline and we didn't have to
It
see that.
it ain't nothing to censor her face. It ain't nothing. Put a blur on it.
I mean, it is what it is. I just, again, I think that like right now, I think with the whole black trauma circling back again, I think more education, even in just small ways like courtroom etiquette and what certain documents mean and whatever
Hmm.
else. We get like during the pandemic, we had town halls about all kind of shit. Like at some point, somebody got to be like, okay, what these things like you could even just having like little shorts about what stuff would mean or whatever, like this is what you're gonna see, you gonna see it, and then when they mention something you could put that shit at the bottom of the fucking screen. This is what exhibit such and such got put into play just now. This is what this is about. Like certain people,
Hmm.
because niggas run to Facebook and have no idea what the fuck they talking about, and then you got somebody who may be like, why they doing this? Why they attacking character? This and that. You can't want justice without having us go through the whole thing. So you're gonna
Right.
hear some shit you don't like. Like you're gonna. I mean, that I think that's part of it too. The using certain opportunities for education. Like everybody ain't gonna try to hear it, but there's no reason that it shouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah. I just mm, like I really feel I guess to like get my thoughts together, I really feel as if it's kind of like necessary
Right.
at a point to watch these things because if you don't learn from your history, you're bound to
Mm,
repeat it. And that
right.
was something that I wanted to talk about here. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I try to watch any and consume any culture impacting event or movie or show or anything like that. And that's from Friday all the way to when they see us. Like
Which I still can't do it.
and and I totally understand. I totally understand. It's not for everybody, but for me, I feel like I needed to at least get through it once because it's like Judas and the Black Messiah. It's one thing to know the story,
Right.
but it's another thing to see like a visual representation that's done, alongside and agreement with, who it's about. So when Ryan Coogler did Judas and the Black Messiah, he made sure he went to, Chairman Fred Jr.
Right.
and got his blessing for it. Ava DuVernay made sure she went to the Exonerated Five, got their blessing for it.
Right.
So
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
it's history at that point that you kind of need to know.
it's necessary that I think that's part of, I guess, because I walk right past the how do you think we heal part, but I mean it's still a question like how are you ever supposed to heal if you're sweeping it to me? I mean I'm talking to myself too. Like I can avoid certain shit, but even with like you said with Judas and the Black Messiah, if you look at how the story went, I had actually even before I knew there was a trailer for this thing, I was just scrolling down Wikipedia to get like a general sense of the situation, right?
Hmm.
And so I was looking into the shit and I made myself like very angry just reading this shit. So again, like you said, just half the time you trying to heal from some shit you just not finding out about. And that's hard too,
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't know stories of any of this shit. So you have to go through a grief cycle about some shit that was never even, taught to you. That's the problem. So it's just it's a long road for a lot of this shit. So that's I guess that's where I was going with that. The education part is like you gotta it's gotta get pushed. Like you say, you bound to repeat your history if you don't know it, but you that
Hmm.
shit's gotta get pushed because you have to make yourself angry. You gotta go through your African American studies class and be mad as fuck at white people for a little while, and then you're gonna go to work and not want to talk to nobody, and then you go through all you know what I'm saying? You go through all this shit, and then you sit there and then you know go through your grief cycle and then you be good. But that's the problem. You get to certain points in your life never knowing any of these people, uh, and then you be coming to work pissed off and they be like, "What's wrong with you?" I watched Judas and the Black Messiah. Be like, "I another something else y'all done did," you know.
Right, right, exactly. And now I just, learned that there's about to be a Marcus Garvey movie. We finna get a Marcus Garvey movie.
I'm ready for that one too. I'm ready. I'm ready
So
for it.
I I just need, I need my people to wake up, man. I need my people to know their history. I need my people to, just get this visual representation as like a nail to where it nails it down. This is what you know already, but I just want to show it to you so you can see, the ramifications, so you can see, what these people went through. And us showing it to you doesn't even do it justice because
Not at all.
you don't feel, what you didn't feel what she felt when they ran in the room, guns blazing, and killed everybody but her.
And just like I said, proximity to what is it? Proximity to revolution, man. This
Yeah,
shit is and it's crazy because same thing with her. It's her proximity to revolution. You don't know how powerful of a moment this shit's about to be, but in your eyes, you just like shit, nigga. I hope I make it up out of here.
right.
It's like you know, married to a martyr and shit at this point, and it's like people looking at you trying to. They got you reliving this shit over and
Hmm.
over again, trying to tell this story. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. But I definitely feel as if it's important to, digest some things. The Hate You Give movie.
Mm,
Um, I, that was another tough one to watch. It these movies don't get easier. These shows don't get easier because just because you watch it over and over doesn't mean it's, easier to digest, or as you say, more palatable.
mm,
It's just something to make you more upset because it's like, damn, but he reached in the car for a hairbrush
right. And
and got
I haven't watched that one either.
and got cleaned up, man.
I can't. And it again, it's like I don't know how much education works in certain situations because even in a movie like that, like if you just from what the trailer is showing you, it's like okay, buddy's making light of this shit. Like you like, bro, don't reach in the car, don't do no stupid shit. Reach in, reaching in for a brush and you get shot or whatever. But it's like some stuff you don't have to do. Like I just want to get home. Like
Yeah,
I'm not touching shit. My license is there. You want it, you go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not because I mean I don't know how many people have had the police encounter situation. I have at the ripe age of like what 19, 20. Like that shit is you're like, dude, I'm just trying to get to the house. I don't
yeah.
even want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
But you 16, 17 years old leaving a party. That ain't what thinking
no,
about.
not at all. But it's just kind
Especially
of like
especially when you got your little girlfriend in the car. You trying to,
it's just like at the age we in now, you be like, you can, yeah, you can talk to people, but at some point, you gotta like, mommy ain't gonna be there when the police pull up. You be like,
not at all.
she told your ass don't reach, and it's not about oh you should have complied. This is just like, bro, do whatever you gotta do to get to the house. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just and that's usually where I'm at with it, because it's like,
It's it's crazy. It's crazy you said mommy ain't gonna be there because that brought back a memory.
yeah,
My second time getting pulled over, I was 17 years old, right? Second time getting pulled over, I'm leaving school to go to a post operation because I had my wisdom teeth pulled. And my mom forgot to write me a early release note so I can make it to my appointment on time. So I'm leaving school. I'm on two wheels headed to this doctor's appointment. I'm
right,
leaving Noonan, going through Peachtree City, and they always sit in this same spot, and I know they always sit in the same spot. But I'm still just so one track mind on getting there. So my mom taught at the middle school just around the corner from my high school, right? So we got at school at about the same time. I'm headed to the doctor's office and she's headed to her second job. I get pulled over. She ride past me and I immediately see her and she put the brakes on, right?
Right.
She didn't stop. She put her brake lights on. I guess she was looking in the rearview mirror.
Mm.
She picked up the phone and she called me and she was like, "Is that you?" I said, "Yes, mama, that's me." And she was like, "I knew it was you because you got you and your daddy's truck because it's got the Alpha tag on the front."
Look at that.
I'm in my daddy's truck with the Alpha tag on the front. She said, "You gonna
Making
have
us
to."
making us look like criminals.
She said, "You gonna have to tell him." I said, "I know, mama. Just let me call you back." So, mama
Well,
was there actually.
look good. I'm glad you had that. Mine
Ma-
was not the same.
Mama was there.
But again, shout out to my boy Zay. He almost got us fucked up in that situation. Nigga told the police, I don't know what. Well, let me go back. We got pulled over. First off, it was something stupid. The actual ticket I got was a warning for failure to maintain lane.
Hmm.
Um, but the police was like, I think when we came out of the gas station, lights popped on about half a mile down the road. So this is in Fayetteville, by the way. Fuck y'all. Um, one
This
way
is
in the
this is in Fayetteville, Georgia.
yes.
That's what. Yeah, that's where I got pulled over. I'm going,
So
leaving Noonan, headed through Peachtree City, going to Fayetteville.
yeah, Fayetteville, kiss my ass. One way that backwoods ass place.
Yeah,
One way in, one way out.
it gets you.
And so you get pulled over, but he's like, lights flip on. We turn the corner. We get to what I know now is the parking lot. I believe it's the parking lot of the courthouse. But I saw cameras pointing and shit. So he's pissed off about that. We pull in, whip around into the parking lot of the courthouse. And he's like, "Why you didn't pull over?" I said, "Shit, I don't." You know what I'm saying? I said, "It's dark, no lights outside. You know what I'm saying? We just come from the gas station getting some more food for the game or whatever." And we don't really know the area like that. He said, "Oh well, that's funny. Maybe you ought to just stay where you from then." I said, "Okay, I already know what type of time we on." I said, "I know what type of time we on." So he, shining the light in my eyes and whatever. And I got contacts and shit, so the concave and shit. So you shine light directly into a nigga eye with contacts and shit, you could fucking blind me. So I'm like, I shake my head like this. He was like, "What you flinching for?" I said, "Because you shining a light in my fucking eyes. Were you trying to see if I'm high or anything else?" I said, "I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, any of that shit." He was like, "You don't smoke?" I said, "No." He asked my boy Zay, "You smoke?" "Yeah." "What you smoke?" Black and Miles." "Oh, that's all you smoke?" Be like, "What else would I fucking smoke?" "Oh no, I'm just asking, just asking." All right, cool. He's like, "You looking nervous? Why you acting so nervous?" I said, "Because I know how y'all do people, and I don't like police like that." "You don't like police?" "No, sir, I don't like police." "Oh, okay. You ever been to jail?" "No, I don't have a reason to go to jail." So at this point, we already the smart Negroes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We the two smart niggas, right? So it's like,
smart
okay, all right,
asses.
exactly. We're two smart ass niggas. So he's like, "All right, whatever, just going through the question." He calls. Well, no, I'm assuming that one of the other officers saw the lights, so he pulls up and shit, and so he comes to the other side of the window. He talking to my boy Zay. He's like, "Oh, what y'all going to do?" He said, "Shit, we just going to get some food or whatever for the game. Y'all wasn't going to get no alcohol or nothing like that." I said, "Sir, we not old enough to drink, that shit." I said, "No, not at all. We just riding." He's like, "Okay, well, why y'all look so nervous?" I'm like, "Man, it's the third time y'all done asked us this shit." And then my boy Zay, shout out to XJB. This nigga says, "I don't know if it's because I've seen too many Spike Lee movies, but I'm not about to pull over and let y'all beat my ass and get away with it."
Mm.
I said, "Bro, this ain't the time for that shit, man. We don't have time for you to with your righteousness and all that shit." I'm like, "Bro, I'm just trying to go home, bro. We was probably gonna be good until he did that shit." "Oh, okay, well, I understand. So go and step out the car for me." I said, "Fuck." Now they shining a light in my car. They looking. He was like, it seemed like this little canister I had back there and shit. Wasn't nothing in it. I had just washed and vacuumed my car. It was bone dry. Wasn't shit in there. He trying to look because obviously not consenting to a search and whatnot. So he's like, "You mind if I search your car?" "Nah, you ain't got to do that." "Why you want me to search your car?" "Because you asked me and I said no." "Oh, okay, that's fine." So I was just, wondering. Then he separates us. I was wondering
Mm,
what y'all were going to get. Now this whole encounter lasts like 3 hours. We missed the whole fucking game. So, what I'm saying? He make us sit on the ground and shit. He one talking to him, one talking to me. He's like, oh, this and that. Just basically trying to get us to conflict our stories and shit. But we was
right.
on the same, we looked at each other smiling. We on the same type of time. I already know what this shit is. They call for backup. He's like, can we search the car? I said, no. All right, cool. They call for the, K9 and shit. K9 come over, sniff the car, doing this. I'm laughing. I'm like, but I ain't finna find shit because I said, I don't let people smoke in my car. I don't smoke my damn self. They come, they do, the dog search. They don't find nothing. Oh, no, make sure you don't try to run now because, we don't want to let him go. But, he's pretty jumpy. So you try to run. I'm like, bro, I'm on the fucking ground. What am I going to do? I'm on the ground and you sitting next to me with your hand on your shit. I'm like, bro, I ain't finna do nothing. I said, I'm good.
We
I'm
know you
smiling.
itching to let them go.
I said, bro, I know you'll empty that shit on my ass right now. Fuck a dog. I ain't worried about that shit. So I'm just sitting there chilling. And I'm like, all right, cool. You're not going to find shit. And just whatever. He's like, after all the searching and shit is over with, he's like, oh, we just, pulled you over because, you had a U-turn and you swerved a little bit. I said, bitch, I ain't swerved shit. But it's all good though. Don't worry about it. At the end of this whole conversation, do you know this man is sitting up here talking to us about cell phone plans and a new iPhone and all? I'm like, bro, don't try to do that shit.
Them niggas
Don't
was
try to do that
bored
shit.
and they felt like wasting your time.
I'm like, bro, you was hoping you was gonna get me on something else. I already
Yeah.
know that. Again,
Yep.
if you get into an encounter with the police, just keep your fucking mouth closed, bro. Like, you got a much better, like, people talk about public defenders, but you got a much easier time dealing with a public defender and you haven't said anything at all. Then you just ran your fucking mouth and caused a scene. And now you need a real lawyer because you done got
Right.
into some shit. Be like, bro,
Right.
just be quiet. Like, ain't nobody reading me my rights or nothing because I'm not under arrest. And I asked their ass, am I under arrest? No. Am I free to go? Yeah. Can I get back in my car? They ain't no, are you free to go? Ask both. Am I free to
Can
go? And can I get back in my car? Yes, you can do both. All right, cool. Bam. Close the door. I drove the fuck off. They was mad as shit because I sent that complaint up there the next morning. I called my fucking uncle. It was mad as shit. But I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
hell
thought y'all was
yeah.
getting off.
Y'all thought y'all was getting off. Shout out to Michael Tyler because we sent
Yeah,
that shit up there the next day.
I thought y'all was getting off. No,
My
sir.
my mom was sick. But I get it. I get it. That's one of those until you have a kid.
Yeah.
But again, everybody ain't gonna handle that shit like that, like I did or like you did or whatever else. But again, that's one of those you can teach a nigga anything you want. You have to be of sound mind when you get into that situation.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to do because this shit, talking about that shit still makes me nervous to this day. I got PTSD from that shit. So again, that shit lasted 3 hours. I didn't know if I was going to jail. It's the weekend. I don't know if I'm going to jail till Monday.
Till
I don't know if
Monday.
I don't know if I'm getting shot. I don't know if I'm going home unscathed. None of that shit. So
Right.
again, I still get the shaky hands talking about that shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like you gotta be that's one of them, you gotta be a sound mind. Things that people don't deal with. And you be like, oh, I ain't scared of shit. You know your chads. I ain't whatever, bro. They work for you, bro. They be like, no, they don't, nigga.
They work for you.
Bullshit.
They work for you.
And
Not me.
everybody don't have an uncle, lawyer, or cousin they can call. So you just had a
Right.
fucked up night and you had to go home and try to sleep it off.
You know what? And like you just said, everybody ain't got an uncle or a cousin. It is absolutely crazy that I've gotten three speeding tickets in my life. I've only paid one of them, and the first two I got, I was 16, second one's 17, right? The first time I got pulled over going through a school zone. I think I was doing like 55, but I was late for school.
Right.
So I'm going through the school zone. GSP popped me right there in front of the school.
Fuck them.
I had a bad day at school that day, man. I'm nervous and stuff. Like they didn't already told my daddy. No, in the good well, they ain't told my daddy yet. So I get home and have to tell him. He has me nervous all the way up until the court date. I'm having to save all this money up, but he talked to the solicitor because he handled the solicitor's son's funeral because
Mhm.
apparently, because my dad was a major in the army, right?
Right.
So the solicitor's son was in his company.
Mm.
His son got killed in Iraq, and my dad made sure everything was taken care of for the funeral services and everything. Solicitor did my dad a favor twice.
It's funny.
Twice.
That's crazy because my my cousin in Louisiana, he got into some things with the wrong crowd, as they say,
Yeah.
paraphernalia and stuff. And my granddaddy, God rest him, he know the judge. You
Mm.
know, judge tells him, I'm gonna, he basically gonna let him walk, but he trying to. It's his the come to Jesus, time to grow up moment. Like
Yeah.
tell him to walk up to the stand, acknowledge his shit, apologize to the court, and he gonna walk out of here. But everybody ain't got that, and it's like it's always that who you know thing, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like you got to try not to put yourself in a situation,
I know better now.
like.
I know
But
better
again,
now.
a being of sound mind, like
Right.
that's if it's nothing else if I'm ever gonna pray for is that,
Right.
like, let me have a sound mind, like. But again, deep conversation that's one of them things we always say that's gonna come later, but that's a look in the window of my life in DJ, I guess, because it's
Shit ain't been all
uh,
gravy, man.
nah, man, nah, shit. Look, by the grace of God, shit it could go away, but it
Cause
is what it is.
I got stories.
But
Stories.
let me see. We had that last thing. It was a little touchy, not for me, but maybe for some people because I like to talk shit. So again, I'm out here. I'm out here with it. But basically about the whole Lil Nas shit. If you don't know who Lil Nas is, he's Mr. Old Town Road, Mr. Rodeo, Mr. What was his other
Panini.
shit? Mr. Panini, and now he's Mr. Montero. Um, so Montero is a song. You can go listen to it. I'm not gonna go through the lyrics. The lyrics they're not that bad. The video, not that bad to me. But so the thing about it, it's like you got your people who talk about the Satan thing, and then you got the shoes. The shoes are a Air Max 97. I try to throw it up on the screen somewhere right here. It's Air Max 97. It's an all black Air Max 97. It has Luke 10:18 on the around the toe box. There's like a freaking satanic pendant or whatever on it, and
Yeah.
so supposedly there's there's this ink in the shoe with one drop of human blood, so
Drop
they
of
say.
blood.
I think that is a marketing play, but it is what it is. Um, so
Don't look at me.
I'll let you go first because I got a long spiel about this thing.
I have. All right, so I'll go and preface this by saying haven't watched the video.
It's
I've
not that bad.
only
I promise you, it's not that bad.
I've only heard pieces of the song on TikTok. Right,
Mm.
the "Call Me What You Want" or "Call Me" or whatever he says. I've
Call me
heard
by your
that.
name.
Yeah, I've heard the chorus on TikTok. Right,
Right.
that's about it. I've seen screenshots and I've read breakdowns of this video. I have absolutely no problem at all with, I guess, like, and I don't want this to sound wrong, but I love gay
Say,
people, right?
say what you want, man.
I
Ain't no pause on this show because I feel like if you gotta pause it, that's also homophobic, but it is
right,
what it is.
right.
So say what you gotta say, man.
I love gay people, love them. Some of my closest friends is gay people, right? That's not what bothered me in the video. That's not what bothered me about the song or the video. The the part that bothered me is for Lil Nas X to basically become the devil. And I know it's supposed to be like this whole shot at Christians and stuff like that. But me being a Christian myself, that video just don't seem like it'll sit right with me because I was reading, I think, a breakdown that said when I think it was like in the middle of the video, they
Mm,
said he slid down a pole out of heaven, right?
mm,
And slid on down into hell.
mm.
And that's where he, I guess, met the devil. And I don't know if
See,
that's where he was like dancing and stuff like that, dancing and twerking on the devil. But I read at the
right.
end, he snapped the devil's neck and
Took the
took the
crown.
horn.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Nah, but I'm gonna tell you. So the thing about it, right? As far as the imagery, people obviously people won't appreciate imagery or whatever. The main reason I didn't see that much of an issue with it is it's kind of like it's more so I feel like dude understands text more than people do, like more than Christians do sometimes. Like if you look at exactly each part of that is scripture to it, right? So it's more so you getting upset about the overall imagery, but he's taking the text and putting image to it, like you
No,
talked
yeah,
about earlier. You
definitely
know what I'm
is.
saying?
Right.
He's sliding down the pole from heaven. That's more so about Lucifer falling
Falling
from. You know what
from
I'm saying?
falling from grace, right.
That's Luke 10:18. That's exactly what that is. But you can you like you know what I'm saying? You'll read the text, you'll understand the text, but when you put image to it, if it's not the image you like, then there's a problem with it. And that's mainly where it comes from. Because like, okay, whatever, the twerking with the devil, doing whatever, that's fine. But it's like the devil's in everything, man. Like to be honest with you, like people only like the part of Sodom and Gomorrah that they can get off to. That's how I feel, right? Like you should understand what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
because you know how people they talk about people being gay, but they love lesbian porn, right? Like
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why I love that. That shit is just
yeah,
it's so hot to me. You only like the Sodom and Gomorrah that you get off to. And it's
yeah.
a whole other group of people on the other side that they happen to like the gay porn. They
Right.
like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, like I don't want to scapegoat Cardi. But like if you seen the up video,
Yeah.
you seen the throat baby video,
I ain't seen that though.
like sliding down the river of cum, like
Yeah.
into no, he's surfing on a tongue of of sperm, like like it. That video wild as hell, but he's a straight man, and she's a I guess a straight woman until she started drinking. But the devil is in everything, man. Like these images, you can't tell. Like people will tell you about a gay agenda and just different stuff like that, and not liking it. But that type of imagery is in everything. But if it's not what you subscribe to, then it's an issue. And I'm
No,
like, all right,
I get that. I understand that. And again, I have absolutely no problem, with the gay agenda. And I'm air quotes
right,
here, big ass
right.
air quotes, because I don't feel like there should be an agenda for people, just living their lives. If you gay, be gay out loud. Like, don't hide that shit. You got one life to live, and you can't like hide yourself because somebody 2 states away don't like how you living.
And I think that's the middle ground with the video. That's what, like, with some people, yeah, it antagonizes your religion and what you believe. I get it, but that's the point, though, right? Everybody does this in some type of way. That was the whole point. You are antagonizing people because for him, his devil was, I've hated myself for all this time as a teenager for things that other Christians have told me that I'm gonna die and go to hell
Yeah,
for because people will tell you that they don't have a problem with gay people. They'll tell you that they should be able to love and live as they want to, and then they show you nothing but the opposite.
right.
So that was exactly the reasoning behind this whole thing. When it comes to the shoes, that is what it is with the shoes. Like first off, that's not even an original Nike product. They bought the shoes. At this point, it's creative license. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want with these damn shoes because this same company, Mischief, made
it's
a
like
Jesus
Mosh,
shoe. Right. Nobody tells these people
Holy
like Nike
Waters.
they supposed to be suing and whatever. Nobody said nothing about that Jesus shoe
Yeah,
being idolatry. They said nothing about false gods. There's the Jesus pendant. Is Jesus still sitting on the cross? I thought that was supposed to be an issue because he died and rose again. Like it's too many. Like it's too many conflicts, in that. But it's just like you like the parts you're comfortable with, and
I
it's
think it was more
easy.
so the blood part, man.
Or maybe for you,
Not
but I
not not
just
Nike ain't finna get behind that because I think
well,
that's the reason they didn't say anything about the holy waters is because there's like no bodily fluids in the holy waters, but
but
there
that's
is blood in the 97s.
but that's just too easy, right? Like it's I don't we don't know for a fact that there's blood in it. That's why I said that's the whole market inside of it. The shoe did exactly what it was supposed to do. Get niggas talking. Right.
All it's gonna take is just one person to run DNA,
And
just
it's fine.
extract.
And that may be fine. And it's like, okay, so same thing about he's talking about like like I said, the devil's in everything. Like if you take Latin interpretations of whatever else, I mean, like Tory Lanez, his first name is what? Daystar,
Daystar.
which is what? Lucifer,
Yeah.
light bearer, morning star. Like
Right.
now, they got different interpretations of this stuff. I believe it's let me see. I had it written down. So I think it's like Isaiah 14:12 or something like that. That's not like it could. I mean, it could be that. It could be it could be something else. Whatever else. It don't say that it's Satan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, in Genesis, they don't explicitly say Satan in Genesis, but we know the serpent and all this other stuff like that. You don't get people to agree on this type of thing till you get to Revelation, right?
Right.
But it's like, all right, if we putting using context clues, and be like, okay, we know where we're going with this. But all I'm saying, you is the devil is just stuff that people don't understand. It's certain reasons you cannot like it. I get where you coming from, but most of these people, if they're not gonna sit down and have a conversation to break the shit down, all you doing is playing biblical telephone on Facebook because that's all I've been seeing.
So what happens when he takes the text, right, and puts
Yeah.
a visual representation to the text, but he changes the word because the devil fell from heaven, fell from
Mhm.
grace, and he went to hell, right, and he became the ruler of hell. But Lil Nas X kills him, takes
Mhm.
his crown. That's changing text at that point, so it's not necessarily all accurate.
No, that's not. But that's again, that's the creative license because what does what Killer Mike? What's his whole thing? Kill your master shit.
Kill your masters.
It's the same thing. Like that's literally the same thing. That's just kill your masters. Like I said, his devil was him, the way that he was feeling and the hate that he had for himself. That's literally what it was. I took that and took control of that. And again, I'm being advocate, but it's just mainly because of the like you killing this man off, not you in particular, but just people
Mm-hmm.
killing it, killing this man off without having that conversation. The Christian thing to do for me is to have that conversation because I was talking to my mom earlier. She, one of the biggest Christians you ever gonna meet. But
Mm-hmm.
again, she know her son. I'm a challenge what you believe in, and
Yeah.
not necessarily because. And again, I'm Christian myself, but I just think this is a funny conversation because it's to me. The last thing I want to be is a hypocrite, right?
Right.
The number one thing that my grandfather taught me: your word is your bond. Try not, and all you can do, try not to be a hypocrite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, I think you gotta look at the other side. He would probably hate this shit, right? I get that, but the person that he would still let you sit there and talk because my uncle, he was he's in the Air Force or whatever, and he would come home, he'd be like, Daddy, let me tell you about Buddha. Nigga, I don't want to hear nothing about no Buddha. Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? And he would do that shit. And my grandfather, he had no ill feelings towards his son. He gonna sit down and let him talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. Like that's the thing to do. You don't have to, you don't gotta like it. I get that. But to sit there and do what some of these people are doing behind this shit, I believe that his point was achieved. Like the thing he was trying to do is what it did. Because he could have just made the song and left it alone. He could have not been associated with the shoes and
Mm-hmm.
left it alone. But the only reason people even understand what he's talking about is because he put the visuals. Because you hear stuff, people rap shit all day and don't even realize what they're saying. Like you say some crazy stuff. You be rapping about. I mean, I don't want to compare it to like the drug thing, but you can rap about shit all day and never know what you're talking about.
But see, that's the thing though, because the the song didn't have anything to do with the video, and
Have you listened
it,
to the lyrics in full though?
well,
You got
not
to
really.
listen to
Like
the.
I
You
said,
have to
all I
listen
heard
to it
was
in full.
chorus.
No, listen to the verses. The verses mimic the visuals because
Okay,
the chorus don't have nothing to do with the visuals. I give you that.
I'm finna throw you I'm finna throw you another curveball then. So with Lil Nas X talking about it's not my responsibility to raise your kids.
Mhm.
It's not. It's not any entertainer, any celebrity, any athlete's responsibility to raise people's kids because
Right.
them niggas don't even know them kids' names. So, but at some point, you do have a responsibility to kids when you are accepting Kids Choice Awards on Nickelodeon, writing books, and also performing at schools for Old
Mhm.
Town Road. And for you to
And
say that you don't have, anything to do with people's kids, it's kind of a lie there because you did
well,
all of that.
it's not that he don't have anything to do with them. He said he don't have a responsibility to raise them.
True that he
So
doesn't have responsibility.
the thing about that, because well, like again, that was your point. So let's talk about that. Yeah, he don't have a responsibility to raise them, but up until this point where we are now, he was Old Town Road and Kids Choice Award. But people change. If you want to do away with him, you can do that, and you can choose not to support his music or whatever else. The whole thing about um, you know, no responsibility to raise people children. It's kind of like this is like that conversation we had before about you got to be more active in paying attention to what your kid's getting into. Like this is why again with Lee on the iPad, like if he looking at Montero, that shit's got to go, bro. Like I don't have. That's the thing. People like to say separate the artist from their music when it's comfortable for them because this is truly a situation. Separate that dude from that music. You don't like that, you only like Old Town Road, listen to that. If you want to listen to the Montero shit, listen to that. If like rodeo, whatever else. But that's the thing, it's only when people are comfortable. That was my point at the beginning. When it makes you uncomfortable, one, that was the point. But when it makes you uncomfortable, people only they call it the devil. They call it this. Like people thought blues back in the day was a devil. They was taking women from their houses and making men leave their family and whatever. Like the
Hmm.
devil is whatever you don't understand. And I feel like that's why we one of the most sheltered communities because it's kind of like you don't want to speak truth to none of it. Like a simple conversation could end half of that shit. Like you don't want to know why people think what they think. Like, and I heard it before. I don't want to hear about that. Like again, talking about like my granddad. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about this. I want to hear that. A simple conversation is fine. If one conversation about some shit you don't understand is gonna shake your belief system, how much do you really believe in it? Like, you gotta think about that shit. Because people don't want to like, oh, you need to stick to your Bible and you need to do this and that. Again,
Hmm.
I've heard this kind of stuff in church. We both grew up in church. So
Right.
again, that's why I'm being antagonistic as fuck tonight, because
Right.
it's funny.
Yeah. I can see the joy in your face, man.
Because it's hilarious. Because like some of the most devout church people that like devout Christians and biggest church people I know, like they are up in arms about this shit. And it's funny to me because again, those are some of the more um I guess you could say shelter. That's an easy word. I don't want to use that, but yeah,
It's
some of the
that's a word.
I guess I say more shelter. Like I know what I know. I like what I like. I'm this, and it's just like it's hard. It's hard for people. I put it this way. I rein it back in. It's hard for you to have these certain things to say, and try to garner some type of respect from other communities and other faiths and stuff like that. Because you got to sit there and be like, okay, Christianity ain't the oldest religion. Um, you've used it in the past to justify keeping slavery and shit starting slavery. You have used it to justify why homosexuality, people who are part of the gay and lesbian community don't deserve equal rights. Um, you used it for some of the worst things in the world, and then you want to turn around and try to tell people that he can't make a video like that because I'm Christian and I don't like it. Not you specifically, but I'm just going down Facebook, right?
Right. Right.
But like in essence, it's like he don't need to do that because you talking shit about something that I love. Okay, like join the team. Like everybody go through that shit. Like I mean, it's just a situation where you sitting there and you telling yourself, you like, all right, I don't know where this gonna go, but unless they gonna come after me with pitchforks and shit like that, like, we gonna let this shit run. It's gonna keep getting spins, like,
Yeah, it is.
cause
It
all
is.
you gotta do is turn it off.
And at this point, who won? Who won? Lil Nas X won because people are going to keep talking about it,
And there you go.
and people are going to flock to YouTube to watch the video. You're gonna have pastors preaching about it at church on
Oh,
Sunday.
oh, listen, you lining this man pockets left and right. Like
Yeah,
money is the motive, bro.
yeah, and
Like
that's why that I read on Instagram. I forget where I saw it at, but somebody had this whole like explanation of why Lil
yeah,
Nas X is an industry plant, and I'm like,
he could be.
it makes sense. It
He could
makes
be
sense.
like maybe he could like seriously he could be.
It makes sense.
And I
Like,
just think I ain't gonna stay on it too much longer. It's just it's a funny conversation to have. I just think just like the whole thing about the text and all that. Like any, I used to argue with my late aunt about it. I was like, I really only care to have a conversation about the words that were written and read, right?
mm-hmm.
The words of Jesus. That's
Right.
pretty much it. If it
Words of Christ.
so because it's the words of Christ, anything else is like I feel like the energy is inconsistent. Like the Bible's been changed this many times or whatever. The only the words in red is what is what matter to me. So when people tell you what this say or what this say, oh, this is interpreted this way, this and that. Like, listen, first off, we got to come to an agreement. For you to be able to at least talk what you talking to this man about what he's doing, you got to come to an agreement about what you believe in. You got 32,000 denominations and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You Baptist and I'm Kojic and AME and like
Methodist and
it's the energy is inconsistent, like that's it's biblical telephone. So for him to take the words in red and flip it, you know what I'm saying, and do his thing with that, I think that's what's pissing a lot of people off. But your interpretation is different from his. He's doing what he's doing to antagonize people, and maybe that's why I thought it was funny.
maybe.
I
Maybe.
think I think that's all it is. I get it. I know it's probably gonna frustrate some folks, but
Maybe.
it's a fun conversation to have, man. Only because it's interesting to even if somebody was talking to me about whatever else, it's interesting to have a conversation about who believes what and why they believe it. Because half the time, do you or is it taught and we just keeping it going? It's like again, we grew up in church and I know the Bible just as much as you do and other folks like that, but it's kind of like let's just talk about it. I don't know why that's scary to people. We just talking
Because
about text.
I guess it's one of those conversations to where you don't want to have with a contrarian.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, so if you see what I see and you believe what I believe,
Mhm.
then you're supposed to be, on my side. You're
Right.
supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be, in agreement with you. You're supposed to be in agreement with me.
But that's what makes well, that for one, to me, that's what proves your belief, right? You had that back and forth. And I get it too though. It's difficult to have these conversations and don't again, if anybody listening and you feel like I'm on your side, I'm on nobody's side. So don't feel like you got to take my conversation.
I don't like none
Listen,
of y'all.
I don't like none of y'all. I don't like none of y'all. But don't feel like you're gonna take my conversation and say, see what he said, he's right there. No, it's none of that. What it is it's it's just an interesting conversation. You should want somebody to make you argue your beliefs because then they know that you actually believe it. If they just
Right.
agree with you, the worst thing you could ever have is a church full of amen people. Like you need somebody in there to be like, I don't know. So let's get to the bottom of this shit. Like, like let's figure it out. Cause half the time
Yeah.
you get people, they grow up in church, they go to college, and their parents make sure you stick to your Bible, hold your Bible close. They get in that damn Bible because at the end of the day, you go to college and then they have it don't even have to be another religion. It could be you could go to church and there's no churches. Same thing with Fort Valley. It's only a few kinds of churches. But say there's a church of another denomination and you like it's no churches for me. I want to go to this one. And they start preaching to you about this and the way they believe the Bible to be. And you'd be like, okay, you know what? Nah, I fuck with this a little bit more. I like this. It's just it's
Yeah.
kind of like again, the energy is inconsistent. So it's more so if you do believe that, you should want somebody to challenge it. That's what I believe. If it's something you believe in, you should want
Yeah.
somebody to challenge you about it. That's where I'm going with this because I'm probably frustrating you and everybody else, but it's like okay,
He said, I don't like none of y'all.
I don't. It's what it is. When it come to this, but again, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I hope that was titillating to you guys.
And then he followed it up by saying, titillating.
I'm finna watch the up video as soon as I leave here, man. I'm finna watch up. I'm finna watch WAP. All that. We going to Sodom and Gomorrah tonight. What you mean? Shit. Nah, but
He said,
nah,
"We're
man.
going there tonight."
But nah, just another conversation. This is what we do. This is what we do here at Extra Season. It's extra seasoning for a reason. So it's from time to time. It's just maybe something you get. I'm not leaning one way or the other. I'm just being an advocate for the Daystar. So it is what it is. But I'll put that down for a little bit. Let's go to some media consumption. What you got this past week?
um, I know you're familiar with Akeem Ali, right?
Oh, of
Kimi
course,
Casanova. Okay, so
of course.
I was on the tubes of you
Mm.
earlier, and I found this dude from the city, right? From the city, Deontay Hitchcock.
That name sound familiar.
We got the same name, man. He was on PTSD on Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Maybe that's why.
I didn't really pay attention because you listen to a Dreamville project, you listening for the Dreamville artists.
Right,
You ain't really checking for everybody else.
right.
He was on there. I don't know why he came across my recommended on YouTube, right? This nigga got bars. Like this nigga is in Atlanta Akeem Ali.
Might have to check that out.
For real. Like,
Atlanta can't let nobody have shit.
nah. But then
Dang,
again, he was on Revenge of the Dreamers 3,
I
which
know,
was probably before Akeem Ali.
I know, but you said he's in Atlanta, Akeem Ali. Like, damn, he can't have his own. Like,
Oh, true. Very true. Very
dang.
true. But people know Akeem Ali now
Yeah, I'm
because of
just fucking
Kimi
around.
Casanova.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around.
So um I listened to his album. Listen to his freestyles. If you're gonna listen to Deontay Hitchcock, a good way to get into it is the freestyles that he does on YouTube.
Mm.
Listen to the album after that because it's a departure. Jid's on it, Miguel's on it, Black is on it. Who else on there? He got everybody else. Everybody else on there. Do yourself a favor, do the freestyles, and then listen to Better.
Mm.
Then I was listening to Dolphin Key Glock, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Them dudes right there, something else.
They don't miss, man. They don't miss.
I'm gonna turn on some Russian cream when I leave here.
They don't miss. Um, but Dolph said this was his last project. We'll see. He said that before.
I don't believe that.
He said that before. I see. I see if it's up and it's stuck back there. You starting early, man.
I told you we go. I tell you we going to Sodom and Gomorrah tonight.
If it's up, then
I
it's
ain't
up.
listen. I'm in my own club. We ain't getting kicked out of here.
Nah, we ain't getting kicked out, man.
But
Um,
yeah.
Godzilla versus King Kong. I just finished that a couple hours ago. Anybody who ain't seen it, it's worth a watch. It's entertaining, and just watch it. I don't want to spoil it for folks
I'll
because
check it out.
I don't know when people gonna be watching it, but it's entertaining. It's hell. And then I was on the way
Might
to
watch it tonight.
my baseball game doing my community service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slapping 21 Savage Immortal.
I need to go back and run through all his projects.
I listened to Immortal. I had it on the highest volume in the car, right? Get there, I'm full of energy. My kid's full of energy. We lose 11-1. We got the mercy rule called on
Hey,
us.
wait. Cause you ran that shit down to me earlier, but you ain't say that shit that way. You ain't say it that way. You didn't say you did all that in your life.
Bruh. I was pulled up to the field, and it's cars. Mind you, this is the first game of the season for all age groups, right? So I think it's like 13 or 14 fields out there. Parking lots full. There's parents, family members, friends, players walking across the street, back and forth everywhere. The field is full. Here I come, pulling up with 21 Savage, Immortal blasting, right? My energy is super high when I got out the car. Get out the car, I gather my team, I get over to them. We're gonna win. 1, 2, 3 break. Giants on 3. We get out there and we lose, man.
It
They
be
had
like
they had fun though,
it
but
be like that.
we got some stuff to work on, man.
I mean, it's fine. This is the age group where you working on fundamentals
Bro, it's
anyway.
not fine.
So
It's not fine.
I mean, nobody like to lose. Don't get me wrong. Nobody like to lose, but it's about the fundamentals. You gotta think about the children. You gotta think about the children this Easter week.
They had fun not playing any sort of fundamental baseball.
Listen, man.
How you let somebody score 11 runs?
Listen, I played on the All Star team, so I side with Goliath in this shit.
You
I'm
coasted
sorry.
then.
Nah, shit, nah, nah. Listen, if it's one thing, can't nobody ever say that I ain't earned mine, bro. I was LeBron in that shit. I was LeBron in that shit. And I'm telling you, every team that I ever, and I mean, this shit sounds so self-serving. It is what it is, though. But every team that I ever played on, niggas would move their kids to get on my team. You can ask anybody that knows me. I swear to God, they did. We was always in the newspaper, and my granddaddy ran the rec league, the rec
Yeah,
center, or whatever. And so I ain't never know nothing else. Like whenever it's like my coaches was always the same coach. But
yeah,
the players that I played with, they parents this was like before AAU was really popping like that. So
yeah.
this was, shit. Everybody know that shit. If you was trying to play rec and you was out in like Adamsville and shit like that, you'd be like, bruh, it's only certain good teams. Like you already know who's gonna be good and who's gonna be trash.
Hmm.
Like especially like Sandtown. I played out in Sandtown, but nobody. This is when we first got to Georgia. Nobody knew, my mama and shit. They don't owe me shit. They don't know you were good in Louisiana. All this other shit. They gonna put you on the trash team. So I played the niggas I played with, bro. Them niggas ain't know how to dribble, none of that shit. So again, this was like the '07 Cavs out that bitch. And then like halfway through the season, my mom was like, you know what? Damn all this. We finna quit. You going to play upward. So I went to EBC and played basketball at the church. We quit halfway through the year, bro. I don't care. Quit halfway through the year. And then when we got to EBC, we ended up not getting first place because I don't think they did like playoffs like that. We ended up not getting first place because the one game we lost, I think we went undefeated all season.
Hmm.
The one game we lost, the other team didn't have enough players, right?
Hmm.
So what does the stupid ass coach do? You don't give them one of the sorry guys on our team and move them over. They
Yeah.
want it. They want competition. So they take
Uh,
me because the coach's son, he ain't gonna move his son. The
mm,
coach's son was the point guard, right? And of course, I felt some type of way because you could have moved
yeah,
your son over, but you moved
yeah.
me. And of course, I know the deal. I would throw the game.
You
You
balled
moved
out.
me. You moved me. You didn't move your son. I said, okay. I'm gonna teach y'all niggas a lesson. So
So you
they
the reason.
they moved me to the. No, they was pissed at me, bro. I got a sport. What is it? The sportsmanship in the. You get like little stars or
Yeah,
whatever.
the
You get
stars,
on your
right?
jersey and shit. So I got moved over, and I got like a sportsmanship star and the other little. And because you talk about the Bible verses and whatever else after practice
Hmm.
and shit. So I got all of that, but I killed these niggas. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was listen. When I
So
tell you
you
I
was the
was
reason.
when I tell you I was Game 7 Bron in 2016. Oh, it was on in that bitch. Oh no, what's the other one when he was in Miami when he had that menacing ass face he had against Boston? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was that shit. I
yeah.
took that I took that shit personal. I took that personal. I took it personal. No, seriously. So the one game we lost all season was because they moved me to the other team and they was pissed. Oh, why you just didn't lose? Fuck, no, nigga, no. I don't do that shit. Cause again, this league ain't free. My mama had to pay for this, and we ain't had the most money in the world. Because you leave from Sandtown, you ain't getting your money back. So we had to pay 2 times. Nah, nigga.
Bro. So so you gave up a championship trophy to win a game against your team.
Yep.
Damn.
I'm that guy. I
Damn,
don't care.
Kobe.
Hey,
That's
listen.
that. That's some shit Kobe would have done. That sounds like some
Hey,
shit Kobe would have done.
I'm trying to tell you, you should
Licking his lips and everything.
you shouldn't have did it. With that, with that. And I mean, I'm talking about body niggas. Like you leaning in, throwing shoulders and shit, catching rebounds over 2 niggas and shit like that. You be like, damn, bro, calm down. Be like, nah, bro. What Kobe told them niggas, you niggas soft like Charmin. Y'all ain't doing
Soft.
shit for me. You soft.
Soft.
Soft like Charmin. Y'all ain't doing shit for me.
That's definitely some shit Kobe would have done, man.
But again, that's my y'all listen. Y'all gonna realize we both grew up in the church sooner or later, bro. Because we gonna when Halloween come around, we're gonna talk about Hallelujah night.
Hallelujah. Trunk and treat, man. Bro,
We're gonna
you,
talk
you, you
about
remember that play? Heaven and Hell?
hey niggas.
Bro.
We gotta say that. We gotta say that shit. Cause listen. I was gonna talk about that shit on my point or whatever, but I just thought it would have been funny to throw in. We gonna say that. We gonna say because
Book, bookmark that shit, man.
bookmark it because I was gonna talk about the what is it called, the dramatic whatever the hell, what Craig used to call that shit for the Easter play, the dramatic something of Christ. I'm like, but y'all niggas know y'all own it at EBC, boy.
Ooh-wee. Hey, yeah, man.
Listen, man. Let me do this media consumption because we finna start a whole nother call. But
Knock
nah,
that shit out.
I ain't got but two, man. Just Queen Sugar. I was it came back around for season 4, I believe. Season
Mhm.
3, man. You know how niggas do. They take these breaks mid season and they take so long to come back, you forget about it. So that's what
Mhm.
happened. So I'm binge watching that right now, and I'm watching a lot of Kevin Samuels, kind of by accident, because I used to watch bruh for like the fragrance videos that he used to do and like the style shit or whatever, like
Mhm.
what ties go with. Because I think he's an image consultant, so like what ties go with this and whatever suit and shit.
Mhm.
And it was funny because he get like advice to women about dating or whatever else. But I mean, a lot of people talk about him, but I ain't never heard him give bad advice though. Like when it come to the serious though, like when it come to like what you looking for in a guy and just different stuff like that. Like why do you expect to have what you want, as far as, who you dating? Like do
Mhm.
you even attract that? And that information goes both ways. Like you can say you want some type of virtuous woman who don't want to do this, don't want to do that, whatever. Like what kind of shit do you like? What are you about though? That stuff
Mhm.
go both ways. That's really what it is. Now some of this shit, the delivery is kind of, what I'm saying. Some of it is harsh.
But I
He's
mean,
had
you gotta kick it real though.
Right. He's had some videos. And the thing is, you kind of know what you're getting into. You can't come on there and then get your feelings hurt because you watch video after video. You know what this man is about when
Mhm.
you get on here. He's going to argue what you said, not what you think. You know what I'm saying? If you get on there and say, I work at Dollar General and I want a nigga that makes 500K and I want to have 4 kids, not do this, not do, you'd be like, okay, what is he getting? And the minute
Mhm.
that nigga say that shit, you'd be like, well, he's getting my love and support. Be like that. He can go buy a dog, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I've never seen him give bad advice. It might be a little harsh, but I ain't seen bad advice.
Right.
But again, if y'all want to watch Kevin Samuels, man, go do that shit. It's kind of funny. You got to take it for what it is. I think Kevin Samuels' comment section is filled with a lot of uh, weirdos and shit. Like you get on there, be here. When I was in third grade, yeah, this is why I'm an alpha male now because when I was in third grade, she told me I stink, and it's them kind of niggas in the comment section. I swear to
Yeah.
God, because
Yeah.
some of the stuff he says is like whatever, but for the most part, it's
Weird
decent
ass
advice.
niggas.
Right. But what about any black businesses you rock?
Um. Yeah, I got a couple here. This time I want to do like black content creators.
Right.
So of course, Cam Kirk. If you don't know
Mm-hmm.
who Cam Kirk is, I don't know.
Studios.
I don't know where you been.
I never
But
been over there.
the studio is nice. Studio is nice. It's got different rooms for different things. Um, but yeah, if you're in the Atlanta area and you need like headshots, you need studio shots, book you some time. Book you some time.
I think it's pretty
Um,
affordable too.
yeah, it is pretty affordable. I mean, because he's always said that he don't want to hit folks over the head because when he was trying to find spots to shoot, prices were ridiculous, and he was like, that's just one thing that he didn't want to do.
Right.
So I respect it. Um, he's kind of got Atlanta on lock, but then in Macon, you got Darrell Moyer.
Okay.
He is a photographer down there. He was shooting. He's been shooting since before we went to Fort Valley, before we got down there.
Mm.
So, and he's still shooting. So he's just he's he's kind of like a staple in Macon. If you getting pictures taken, he's more than likely taking them.
Mm.
So and he's on Instagram also, Darrell Moyer Photography, and of course Cam Kirk Studios. So go book you some time, go book you some shoots.
What
Let's go support.
what was your that one your old roommate, was it? What was
Who?
it? No, that was Derek, wasn't it? What was his name?
Birdsong.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if
Derek
he was
Birdsong
I
Jr.
didn't know if he was still doing stuff too.
He a family man now.
Oh, so he didn't put down the sword.
He a family man. So he got 2 little girls and a wife. So
Mhm. Well, they always got a photographer. Hey, just like
they
you know,
always got a photog.
listen, good pictures cost, you know.
They do.
But
They do.
for for mine, the obviously extraseason.com. For anybody who's, wanting to know where we at with it, go ahead and check us out again if you want past episodes. We got past episodes. We got bios. We got Instagram links. We got whatever you need. I think you can download the episode too. So you know what I'm saying, put it in your pocket. But memory lane, memory lane ATL out in Douglasville. That's just so crazy. Douglasville is West Atlanta now. I just want y'all to know that.
I guess.
They might as well say that. No, but literally, like if you look on the thing, it's a suburb of Atlanta, just like they tried to say Macon was a suburb of Atlanta on
It
ESPN
is
at one time. They're like, listen,
not.
Macon is like 130 miles south of. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
It is not.
But
Like
whatever.
I don't even consider Noonan to be a suburb of Atlanta. Like,
Listen,
and it's
Atlanta,
just down the street.
and I used to be bad about that. I had this conversation the other day. I used to be bad about that. Like if it wasn't Cascade, Fairburn Road, Ben Hill, like I was bad like that. But it's like as you get older, you gotta realize that city is expanding
Yeah, it is.
because all I knew was Fulton County, right?
Yeah,
So now that they have South Fulton, like Cascade is South Fulton. That shit is so weird to me, bro. Like South Fulton. I'm like, no, bro, it's Fulton County. No, there's
right.
South Fulton County. They want to split them resources. Now, I believe is I don't know which way it is. I don't know if Westlake is APS now or if it's the other way around and they moved Mays into Fulton County system. Like it's weird because they did the split. So they changed up the way the school system is now. It's
What?
it's weird, bro.
But I
It
remember,
really
I
is.
remember at Elizabeth, if you didn't go to Mays, you didn't go
Oh
to
yeah,
Doug, you went shit, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
You went shit.
But yeah, Memory Lane ATL, man, out in Douglasville. It's on I forgot the address, but it's on Douglas Boulevard next to Buffalo Wild Wings. And you'll see that shit. It's like a vape shop and it's some stupid shit out there. It's like a vape shop, a urgent care, a dog groomers, cigar shop. They got all kind of shit in this
That
little
shit,
plaza.
a bunch of shit that don't match.
I believe they got Holy Moly Donut Shop coming too. So
It sound right.
we
A
like, yeah.
bunch of shit that don't match, man.
But again, slightly pricey. It's a like sneaker resale and vintage or whatever else.
Kind of like
Um,
verses.
yeah, same same
Yeah,
same concept, but it's a little pricey or whatever. Only because the reason I say a little pricey because it's Douglasville. You know the median income in a place like Douglasville, so it's a little pricey. But at the
yeah,
same time, we ain't asking for discounts. It's resale. The resale market is what it is. So you're only gonna charge what you know you can get. Um, like you don't expect people to get their hands on some merch and be like, all right, well, they charging $5, I'm gonna charge $3.50. Like, nah, they're not gonna miss no money.
right.
And you in a real store, so it is what it is. But I get it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
since we are at the end of the show, we held on to some flowers for y'all.
I
If you
got
made it this far, you know what I'm saying? If you made it this far, congratulations. You ain't gonna
MV,
win shit, but
MVP, man.
you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you. But we held on to some flowers.
I got
Uh
some flowers to give out, man. I
go
got some
ahead, my boy.
flowers to give out. Um, Black doctors, we appreciate you.
Right.
I can't stress enough how much black doctors mean these days. Got an
That's a good one.
announcement. Me and the missus might be adding a little mascot to extra seasoning.
Let's
Not
go.
might be. We are adding a mascot. So little bean over there gonna have a another little cousin to dunk on. I don't
So
know
let me
about too long though, but
let me drop this right quick because I do this to everybody. Congratulations to you two, first off. And I gotta drop that obligatory. My son gonna beat your son
that's fine.
ass.
We gonna see, man. We
Oh
gonna
no.
we gonna see.
But that's good, man. I've been holding that shit in.
Nigga, you.
since like the second week of recording.
Nigga, you. Like
Well,
every
yeah,
every every time like a conversation comes up, I can always like kind of draw it back to, me becoming a father. And last week when you pointed at Liam and said, that's Vaughn's, Stan, I was like, damn, I can join this conversation soon.
yes, sir.
So, but yeah, Black Doctors, I do want to say, thank you to y'all because, of course, pandemic happened. Y'all ain't missed a beat. Y'all ain't complaining about nothing. We need y'all more than ever because, especially OBs, because, in the past, Black women ain't felt the same pain as white women.
Yeah, man.
And we lose Black women during delivery and shortly after delivery. So, Black doctors, of course, we were able to share that relation to them so they understand like our women may not be the most vocal, but they still going through it.
Yeah.
So they believe, everything that goes on. So especially Morehouse School of Medicine, y'all
Mhm.
doctors, thank you. Hats off. And also flowers to the missus for getting through this first trimester.
Indeed. Leave them leave them Lay's chips alone.
Bro, Lay's and hot sauce. Not Lay's and ketchup. Lay's and hot sauce, bro.
leave them alone, my dear. Leave them alone.
That's wild. She moving on. She
That's
moving
good.
on. It's different cravings, man. Different
Oh, of
cravings every
course.
2 weeks. So
Pickles and ice cream and shit.
I'm waiting on that.
But it's cool, man. I understand completely what y'all are going through today and will be going through. So now we can get on your ass.
Yeah, man.
Now we can get the dad club can get on your ass.
Yeah, man. Give me the
Like,
shit.
listen, I'm tell you right now, when it come to the doctor's appointment, speak up.
Yeah,
If you have
definitely.
if you have a question, that goes for anybody. If you have a question, speak up. It's nothing for you to go on these little sites like what to expect when you're expecting. Just do some light reading. They be having articles every day and shit like that. Just
Yes.
do some light reading. If
Yeah.
you are in the house with the mother of your child, soon to be, take care of it any way you can and cherish that. We don't all get that. So do your part. I know you're doing your part, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
do your part.
I I'm it's gotten to a point now to where I'm about to download one of these apps to what you can expect, this week and next week and all this and
Oh,
that. So I can be informed.
of course.
But
Yeah,
during the pandemic, it's just part of what it is these days. The fathers aren't allowed in the appointments.
right.
So we kind of gotta, sit on the sidelines and experience it over FaceTime. It's
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
but it is what it is. So yeah, I do want to say I appreciate my wife. She's amazing. She's toughing it out. Baby's kicking her ass. If it's a boy, we need to name him Tyson. If it's a girl, I'm thinking about Layla, because she is on the ropes, man,
Well,
on the ropes. But she toughing it out. So
it's all good, man. Welcome to the club again.
appreciate
So
it.
you know, to Courtney, keep fighting back with all you can, I guess.
Whew.
And make sure y'all start walking, man. Gotta get it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna make it.
I'm
I
getting
promise. It's gonna make it so much. It's gonna make it easier on her. And it's gonna make it easier on you.
yeah, cause I'm I'm getting
Oh,
all my steps in at baseball
listen,
practice,
get
and
them.
she'll go to practice with me, and she'll walk around the complex. So by the time
Yep.
practice over with, after that hour, she's back at where she started. So
Well,
we getting it in, man.
well,
We getting it in.
with all of that being said, I don't think we had too much more for the episode, man. I just again happy resurrection week to you guys and happy Easter to everybody else. Oh, by the way, make sure you get her one of those damn core muscle balls that she could just sit around and just rotate her hips. That'll work. There you go. There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we got the pregnancy pillow already, so
Yes,
we
sir.
in this thing, man.
But I mean, if you need anything from the people, we put that out there. Make sure y'all start y'all registry. We'll drop that in there for y'all to do something special for the guys and the gals.
We do appreciate it.
We'll drop a link down there for y'all. But from the new Dash Club and from the old Dash Club, you know what I'm saying? This was the Extra Seasoning Podcast. So I'm glad y'all still rocking with us. Stay with us again, and we be back with y'all niggas soon.
Giuseppe. Went from the hoop to the Chevy. Went from the Chevy to Lamb. Now these hoes call me the man. Went from no hope to broke joke to $1 million man. Now these hoes call me the man. Now these hoes call me the man.